it's Erin Reed, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about my top five. Well, there's going to be always a little bit more than five crafting tools of 2022. Welcome to the show. Today, I wanted to show you all of the fun tools that I use for just my general crafting. Some of this does bleed into card making, and I definitely intertwine a lot of my tools between just general craftiness and also into my card making, but they're just awesome tools to have. And I would like to show you some. So the first one, we're going to switch our camera. We're going to flip it around and welcome everybody who's on. Sorry about the mouse. I had to make my screen nice and big. The first one I want to show you is my heat press. This is my Craft Express heat press. This I use for a lot of my really big like sublimation projects. And of course, my camera is doing the glitchy thing again. So let me make sure that's all nice and good. And we're set to go. I think we're good. All right. So this is a massive heat press. I absolutely love it. It's got a nice, huge base. It also comes with the mat down here. So therefore you're good. So you can rest your heat press in here once it's set up. When it dials on, I'm not going to turn it on right now, but you guys can see I've used this numerous times in past videos, and it is wonderful. So I use this heat press to go along with. I'm going to move this out of the way. And this is from Craft Express. And as a heads up, as always, all links, if you're watching me on Facebook and YouTube, are down in the information section. If you're watching me on Instagram, because we're also streaming live on Instagram, you can check in my bio, click on my bio, and links to each of the stores or companies that I'm working with are linked there. Okay, so let's switch back. The mats down here, I absolutely love these mats. There's two mats here. One of them is a nice large, look how big this is. This is a 12 by 12 mat. This is a nice little 8 by 8 mat. And these are also heat resistant. So I can take a project that I want to heat press and I can place this on here. I don't have to worry about damaging my table. So it's like having an ironing board all set to go, but it's nice and firm. Or if I have a hot project that I'm done after I've done heating it, I can place it on here and it is all set to go. These two mats come from Art and Crafty, and they just launched this 12 by 12, which I'm in love. So now that I've shown you some of the basic tools, I feel like these kind of go hand in hand, and these companies are like the best of friends. They really do work really well together. They are phenomenal. What do you heat press? Like what are some of the projects that I have heat pressed that I love? This is probably my favorite project I have made. This sublimation pillow, I have heat pressed this. It's got the mermaid. I think it's so much fun. And so what I have done to use this, obviously I heat press this. And so I did do this live on a video a little while back. And again, my camera is doing I can't seem to figure out why it's doing that. It drives me bananas. I think I figured out the sound issue, but now I've got to figure out the rest of it. So I love this heat. And what I've done is I've taken a stencil. Let me show you some of the amazing stencils that I love to work with. I'm going to pull back that mat because it's a good color to show off the stencils. I've taken regular old paper and I've stenciled on it. So this is like an example of one of the stencils. So I use the stencil, but you have to use a special ink. Here's another. These are all stencils from Crafters Workshop. They come in 12 by 12s. This is another one of my fave tools. I love using stencils. This year I've really like digged into them, and not just using them for cards, but also for my sublimation projects. Look at the cool designs on these stencils. So those are some of the 12 by 12s. They also come in 6 by 6. This is another example of a really cool stencil. And they also come in slimline. And I'll show you what this one is in a minute. This is just an example of a slimline. So really good for cards. And then they just released a whole bunch of these ones that are these layered ones. So you put the first layer, let it dry, add the second layer, let it dry, add the third layer, and you get a really cool layered stencil. But it's all in one. You don't have to go hunting around for them. It's just all in one piece. So this one makes the truck. So see how it works. So this one's a Christmas tree truck, but there's a whole bunch of really cool stencils out there. And this is just one of many from the Crafters Workshop. So I will use the stencils just on copy paper, and then I will use them with the Art and Crafty inks. These are such cool inks, and these are specifically for sublimation. Hi, Karen. Hello, hello. And so these are just the coolest inks ever because I can have like 9 colors. So when I ink like this, I place the stencil down on a sheet of paper. I then use, and I always have a set of blending brushes that are just specifically for my sublimation inks. I do not use these blending brushes for anything else. Hello, Pam. How are you doing? So I only use these for sublimation inks. And so I could use three. So for this one, I don't have them all pulled out, but I use the purple and I use the blue. And I just went through and added some beautiful texture and color. So I just ink blended them. I think I may even add a little bit of pink into that. And then I heat pressed it. And that's how I got the really cool pillow. And it's got that. Look at that. And this is a special pillow that the sequins have been coated with a poly coating. So that way they have a little bit of polyester on them. Most sequins already have the poly coating anyway. And if I really wanted to, I could flip the sequins going the other direction and I could heat press on this side as well, which is the best part ever. Hey, everybody watching from Instagram, welcome, welcome. So these are some of the really cool inks, 9 colors. I use them with the stencils and I heat press them on. So I've done the big heat press, but I have also, just to show you guys, using the same setup here with the inks and the blending brushes, I have also used, and I love this, this is my new, and I've used it a couple of times on a live video. This is my mug press from Craft Express. One part I love about this is that once you put this in here, and again, I didn't plug it in, but there is a live video where you guys can go back and watch me from September. We're going to have another video coming on this again later in the month. Actually, next month, I believe. Or is it? No, maybe it's March. Where you put your mug in, and instead of having to like snap it closed like some of the other mug presses, when you push the button, it closes automatically and cinches it in, which is fabulous. So this is one of the mugs I did using black. The mug itself already had this ombre color to it. So all I did is I used the black ink, used it with the stencil, layered it on, went in the mug press and heat pressed and made this really cool mug. So it's such a cool way to use the stencils. I feel like they all kind of go together. So it's with the stencils, it's with the sublimation inks, specifically sublimation inks, and then either on a mug, let me move the mug press. Again, this is all from Craft Express. Links are down in the information section. And so you can make really cool projects with just heat pressing. And this is just a small sampling. I've also done cheese boards. I have done just all kinds of really cool stuff. So this is just a few small fun things that you can do with a heat press, a mug press, the inks and stencils, which kind of really all go together. So all the products I've just mentioned are from, these are from Artistry. So is the mat. These are really cool products. The ink blending brushes I got online. I use the same brushes when I do my regular ink blending. So I bought the same brushes. I bought a set specifically for sublimation ink blending. Then I bought a set for my card making. The stencils from Crafters Workshop, which there is oodles and oodles and oodles of stencils. And you can get them over at scrapbook.com or from Crafters Workshop. They have them in a variety of different sizes. And I've used them for both ink blending, for for sublimation, for heat, for iron-on stuff, and also just for card making. And once you clean it and get the other ink off, you can use the stencil repeatedly. So I really do feel like stencils are a tool, not just a consumable product. It's something that you're going to use over and over and over again. Like I feel like ink is the same way. You just need to get re-inkers. And again, it's totally a tool because this is not a consumable item. Once you have your stencil, you can use it to your heart's content. The mug is a consumable item. You know what I mean? So, all right. So that's kind of like the first couple of items. I'm really bad about picking top 5 because you can't really talk about one thing unless you talk about the other thing. So what's the difference between sublimation ink and the other inks? Awesome question. A sublimation ink is specifically made for heat pressing. So you're going to color with it, you're going to stamp with it, you're going to ink blend with it, whatever it is that you are doing with the heat, but then you have to heat it to set it onto something. So you start off with a sheet of paper, regular old sheet of paper. I just use copy paper and I'll tape copy paper together to make it even bigger. That's how I did the pillow, which, where'd my pillow go? Okay, the pillow just vanished. Oh, it's underneath. So this is obviously too big for an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I taped some sheets of paper together because this is a nice big pillow. And that is how I was able, and then I placed it on here without the pillow in it, flat, and then heat pressed it. There's a special chemical formula inside of the inks that allow the sublimation process, which is to go from a gas to a solid. So it skips the liquid phase, so it transfers that ink. Regular old inks just apply the ink and then they set and they stay there. You can't heat them and they can't transfer that image through the process of heating. You can heat them and stuff will stick to it if you've got like embossing ink, but that's completely different again. So they're completely different animals. You can't take any old ink and heat press it and get it to do its thing. You have to use a sublimation ink. There's a special formula in it and it's all proprietary. I have no idea what it is. I'm not even privy to that. I don't even want to be. That's not my thing. So do you have a link for the mugs that are not from China? The mugs are from Craft Express. So when you go down to Craft Express, that's where these mugs have come from. And Craft Express is based out of Charleston. So there you go. I don't know where they're getting their products from, but Craft Express is an American company. It's very possible they might get some of their products from other countries, but I know that the company is based out of Charleston, South Carolina. All right. Okay, next. Now, people ask me all the time, so I'm just moving some things out of the way, where do I get my inspiration from? I did a fun little video the other day, one of the short videos where I was doing, I had a shirt and that's where I got my inspiration because it reminded me of a stencil that I was using or a stencil that I had. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea for a card. But sometimes, you know, it's the world around us. I get inspiration from online, but I'm also a book person. I really, really do love to touch and feel. And sometimes I just want to cuddle up on a couch and flip through a book and get some inspiration. So I have fallen in love with these books. These are, whoops, not sure what happened there. My screen went out. Sorry about that. Sorry, my upper screen just decided to go, nope, don't want to connect anymore. Turn on. Okay, that was very strange. Okay, I had it all set so that it wouldn't do that. It shouldn't have timed out already. You know what? Lives, you never know what's going to happen, right? So I'm just checking my remote shooting. Let's make sure everything is cool. Auto, nope. Okay, my screen does not. Oh, I hit something. There it is. Okay, it was on my ink thing when I moved it over. It hit the button and it turned off the screen. Yays of lives, right? All right, so back to books. I have fallen in love with these different books. They are absolutely the best. There is such a wide variety. So I've got this one, Things to Draw. I love little cutie things to draw. I'm in love with the whole kawaii thing, and I am trying to teach myself how to draw better and to draw at all. I do everything on the computer, but to sit down with a pen and pencil or a pen and just to learn how to draw. So this is like step-by-step learning how to draw, and I just think it's the cutest thing ever. This one's all about calligraphy. Again, I want to learn how to write better, draw better. So this is a very big step-by-step about learning how to use calligraphy. And again, like anything, you have to practice it to get better. So this is one where it's got all the practicing inside the book. So I feel like I can take this if I go on an airplane or if I'm sitting in a car for a while, or I just want to, step away from, I just want to listen to music and have fun. It's really getting into all the fun parts of calligraphy. But there's also one about paper collage. I mean, you name it. There's another one about go with the flow painting and all different kinds of painting for watercolors. I have picked up quite a variety of books. And the best part is I have a giveaway. All of these books are published by a company called Quarto, and we have a giveaway that I've teamed up with Quarto. There's going to be 5 winners. The link is down in the information section. If you're on Instagram, a link is down where it says giveaway when you click on my bio, and it ends tonight. So you have till tonight to go over, click on the link, enter yourself in. 5 winners. We're going to have 5 lucky people are going to win a book of their choice. You get to go into the Quarto catalog of books, pick the book that you want, and they're going to send it to you absolutely for free if you are the winner. So make sure you get that. Ends midnight tonight. And again, this is just a small smattering of some of the amazing books that you can get there. And it's a wonderful tool for your inspiration. That's why I kind of put this into the tools category. I can use this book over and over to get inspiration. My kids have flipped through it. My daughter, I had another one that was 101 or cute cat things to draw. It was all about kitty cats and all different fun things. I actually have it over here. Here it is. Cutie kitty cat things to draw. Same author. It was one of the, and she even went in and did some of the activities that were in here. I think she did them towards the beginning. So she did some of the coloring. She had some fun in this, but this is just another one of the fun books. I just thought it was so cute because some of the cats, they turned them into like a taco cat. I just thought it was so funny. I loved it. It was the cutest little taco cat you've ever seen. So this is one of my other favorite tools of 2022. I've really delved into going back into the books instead of always staring at my phone, instead of always staring at my screen. But you can also get all these books digitally. You don't have to get them in paper form. So if you're looking for some really good inspiration, it's all been honed in. It's all precise. That's the best thing about books, is they really do keep everything, very precise for you. And it's on the subject that you care about, because that's why you picked out the book. I know there's a lot of really big book lovers out there. So I wanted to give a shout out to all those book lovers. All right, so another fun product that I have fallen in love with, and this is a repeat from last year. It's not a new one, but I have fallen in love with my glue gun, with my hot glue. I am just loving it. So I'm moving over my mic so I don't bump it and have a problem. There is 2 amazing hot glue applicators. I can't say the G word because I'm live and it's going to kick me out. So these are 2 hot glue applicators that I love, 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 love. These are my favorites. These ones, there's just a couple of them. These are from Xyron, and they're amazing. This one is so cool because it has a really neat way of doing the application. It acts like a pen. So you have a very small tip for application. Your hot glue sticks fit right in there, and you can have a nice, nice tip for application. This big guy is awesome for when I'm doing really, really big projects. This part pops out, and you can load into here. And I believe you can fit 3. I tend to stick with 2. 3 can just squish in there. I feel like 2 is pretty good. And then you load this in, and then it automatically reloads your hot glue. And when you feel like you're getting low and you put it down, you can pop another hot glue stick in the back here. And then you are putting it in this way. So it's like if you're doing a big wreath or a really, really big project, I feel like you always have hot glue and it's always ready to go and it's pushing the next stick forward. Because I don't know about you guys, I've done projects in the middle of it and I'm like, oh, the glue's gone. Like everything is lined up perfectly, and it just kind of bums your whole project out because you're wanting to move like fluidly and then you're out of a stick. So this kind of helps solve that problem. And I know it's like a big giant thing, but it really does a great job for those big, big projects. And this one is awesome for those super like precision projects that you want to do. This is the hot glue pen, and this is the mega hot glue applicator, because I can't say the G word. So these are both from Xyron. They have lots of really cool deals over at Xyron going on throughout the year. So if you want to sign up for the newsletter, every now and then they have a buy one, get one free, or they have a buy one, get some glue sticks, or they have a code, discount code. So throughout the year, there's all these fun things, and they only come out in the newsletters. So, and I believe they have free shipping over a certain amount. And I think you can also find them on Amazon. I've linked them to the Xyron's main store, but I believe you can find them also on Amazon. Including a book as top 5. I think books are important. I mean, we definitely, thanks for saying that, Susan. I appreciate that. I definitely feel like, if you're looking at me over here, it's because I'm looking at comments. If I'm looking like I'm staring off to nowhere, it's because I'm looking at the Instagram comments. So I see you guys over on Instagram. I do feel like books are important because, inspiration comes from all places, but, there's such a wealth of knowledge out there of amazing people that put their knowledge into a book and for you to consume and to learn. And that's the best part. I mean, I make videos because I like video portions, doing video, but there's some amazing writers out there that love to share their knowledge with everybody else. Okay. My last tool, I don't know what number I'm on, but I'm going to call it the last one because I'm way past 5 at this point, are pens. So markers. I love to color, and I love to color in things, not for like hours and hours and hours, but I like to stamp and I like to color in, and alcohol inks are great for coloring. I do get into the watercolors every now and then. I do love that. But coloring, I feel like is a really cool part, especially when you're doing card making. You stamp, you want to color in your image. So I've teamed up with a couple of different companies, and there are 2 different price points. Let's talk about the lower end price point for a minute. So I have teamed up with a company called Artbeak. So this is an 80-piece set from Artbeak. I put the link over to, sorry about the glitchy, I don't know why it's doing it. Shouldn't do that. So this one is got 80 markers in it. I've used it specifically. I've actually even kept them in here. I haven't even mixed them in with my main marker sets. They're all alcohol inks, and the best part is this is a nice price point. This is a low price point. I wouldn't call this a high-end marker, and I do not know how long the markers are gonna last, but if you are interested in kind of dipping your toe into the idea of alcohol inks and kind of wanting to see what's going on, this is a great set to kind of get going. And I believe it's only like 30 bucks for all 80 markers. That is a steal. So it's got two sides to the marker. I have to figure out why it's doing that glitchy thing again. So sorry about that. I keep trying to move my my cables here, thinking that maybe it's pulling. I think I need a new cable. I've hopefully figured out the sound issue. I'll know when we're done. But the cables drive me bananas now. Okay, so on one side you have a nice big chisel tip. Okay, and it has really good coverage. And again, they do the blending, so you're really good. On the other side, it has a nib tip to get really pretty coloring there. And there is a nice variety of colors. If you're in the 50 range, you can see here we're in the kind of the green colors range, but it does dip down to like 43. So there's a numbering system. I've yet to quite figure out exactly how the numbering system works because 50, like it doesn't quite make sense to me. So I just go by color. And it's pretty true to color about what you see on the tip. It's pretty true to what you want to get on the tip there. So I've had these for about 6 months or so, 7 months. I've been using them quite frequently, and I do enjoy them. I feel like if I've got a small project that I want to ink blend with, just to show you some of the colors, the price cannot be beat. They are really, really good price, and they blend fairly well. I wouldn't say they're the best quality in top, but if you're wanting to get in here, I always like the nibs, the other nibs better. Wanting to get in and like dip your toe into the act, the art, see, they blend really nicely together. That's a couple of different colors blending of greens. Let me pull in another one again. So if you're just wanting to kind of dip your toe into the idea of alcohol inks, but you don't want to spend a massive, massive amount, I feel like these art bead markers are a good place to go because it's only like 30 something dollars for 80 markers. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Again, link is in the information section. Now, if you're ready to take the leap up and you're like, yep, markers are my jam, Olo markers were new on the market at Creativation last year. This is a higher price point. There is different quality of marker. It has to do with the quality of the nib, which is a felt part. So the higher quality nib, better felt, more felt into that chisel point tip or into that nib tip or into the brush part is going to make a better pen. The quality of the ink that goes in there, the amount of ink that goes in there. Like I said, I have no idea how much ink is in these art beak markers. I'm guessing probably not a whole lot. Also the quality of the barrel, the comfort of it. These ones are square, so they're not going to be as comfortable to hold compared to something that's a bit more rounded. I like that it's all in a nice case, but if you're ready to take the next leap up and invest, and you're really heavily into alcohol markering and you're really into coloring and you want to really get into your ink blending, in par with Copic markers, Olos are right there. And there's my phone going off. Sorry about that. Usually put it on mute. Hang on. And of course, it's a scam. Stupid scammies. I usually stick my phone on airplane mode, and I totally forgot today. I don't usually get phone calls. I usually get text. Sorry about that. So Olos are in the equivalent, I think, of the caliber of a Copic marker, and I think everybody who's in the world of Copic markers or in alcohol coloring understands Copic markers. You're gonna pay for the quality of the pen and the brand name and has that quality to go with it. Olo markers have broken into the market and I feel are, if not equivalent, if not even better, for a number of reasons. So there are tons of colors. I've just pulled out a couple, and I just wanted to show you guys how these work. So on the end, you can see the color, right? And when I pull this apart, it's like actually having two separate markers. It's not the same marker, it is two separate markers. And if you notice the barrel, you're not sharing, let me pull this apart again, sorry. You're not sharing the ink between the two barrels. This little piece right here is the connecting between it, and you can kind of mix and match. So if I wanted to take this portion of this marker because I'm going on a trip and I want to put these two together because that's the main two colors I'm using for a project, I can combine these and I don't have to take the big old pen with me. I have this one pen and I'm good to go. You have, put this back together again. There's different colors that come with them. Oops, I gotta redo this. All right, so I've got my RV 0.4. Here we go. These go together. Each side has a different amount of ink, and the amount of ink in these markers is double what you would find in any other marker. Even if it has a ton of ink in it, it is double, which is fantastic. They do have two different sides to them. Oops, I opened it up and kind of got messy. There's two different sides. There is the chisel tip, and there's also the brush tip. And if you look at the size of the brush, it is nice. It flows really easily. Here is another one. This is another color. This one is RV, so that would be Royal Violet. This is a 0.4, so it's a little darker. This is a 0.2, so it's a little bit lighter. And again, on the other side, we also have this. And you can get color sets. If you notice, there's a gray side and there's a black side. The gray side is your chisel tip, and that goes for all of them. So here is a chisel tip on this side. This one is another one of the smaller ones. This one is V.4, so just violet. The code I've given you guys for the Olo markers are 10% off if you want. If you just click on my link, you're going to automatically get 10% off in any order you have. They did have a deal going on for a while there, just to show you how they can blend. They had a deal that was going on that was showing how to, you get a little bit of money off. Look how beautiful that blends in there. I love it. This one I grabbed, this is a blue violet. So this is a BV. Look how gorgeous that is. And they flow so beautifully. And the amount of ink in here is just insane. I just love the amount of ink in these markers. So if you got, depending on where you're at with your money, Olo markers are not cheap. I will not even come close to trying to say that they are the cheap marker out there. If you're looking for something just to dip your toe in, to play, you're an occasional colorer, Artbeak is your jam. That's where this guy comes in. Look at all the colors you're getting. It is awesome. For the same price, you can get the Olo markers, but you're only going to get about 10 markers. And that is your difference in price, but it's also difference in the quality and the amount of ink that are in there. So it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're wanting to spend, you think about it, a Copic marker, a single Copic marker can be in the lines of $3 to $4. And you can refill those just like you can refill the Olo markers. Same thing. There's no difference on that. So these are refillable. The Artbeak markers, once they're dead, they're dead. You cannot refill them. At least from everything that I have found, once they're done, you just pretty much have to throw them away or recycle them. And yeah, you can recycle markers. Some of the schools do marker recycling and stuff like that. You can find where you can recycle any kind of marker that's out there, which I think is really cool. So that is my top 5. Just to rehash again, we talked about sublimation projects. So we have our mug press and our heat press to go with our inks. So we had our sublimation inks, which are different than regular inks. You don't want to intermix them, and you want to keep separate tools for each of them. You also have all the different, obviously, surfaces that you can use it, a nice big mat, and then all the stencils that you can use to do all the different kinds of sublimation. That's how I did the sublimation on the mug, which was cool, and also on the pillow. Then we also had the giant, well, here we go, the big guys here, the wonderful hot glue applicators. There's a wide variety of hot glue applicators from Xyron. These two are my favorites. I have to say that they are probably my two that I gravitate to the most. But there's also the traditional hot glue applicator that you can get there as well. Plus all the amazing books, all the wonderful arts and crafts books that Quarto has. And again, links for everything are down below. Don't forget to join over and join into the giveaway. Link is down below to the giveaway that Quarto has. It ends tonight, and it's a chance to win. 5 winners are going to win a book of their choice in the arts and crafts catalog of their books. And you guys get to pick what you want. And 5 lucky winners, but you have until tonight to enter. So I'll be announcing that winner. I'll be emailing the winners, but it'll be posted on the little application when it's all done. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you missed or joined in the middle or wherever you happen, or if you came in the middle or like whatever, they will all be on replay on both Instagram and Facebook and YouTube momentarily. So just give it a few minutes and it'll be ready for the replay. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see everybody later. Bye-bye, everybody.